K-Nation. Sponsored by K-State Superstore and 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Tonight on K-Nation, an old Kansas basketball favorite is back courtside for the Jayhawks. Why he's excited to tackle a new role for KU basketball.
And I caught up with KU baseball's new head coach to talk about some of the guys who make up the Jayhawks' biggest transfer class.
Plus, K-State cross country, their coach is leading the Wildcats to success, but it's been quite the journey and it's coming full circle. We'll tell you about a wild path that led him back to Manhattan after all. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for K-Nation. I'm Glenn Kinlan.
And I'm Lainey Gerber. This is our new 30-minute special. It'll air every Sunday night after the 10 p.m. news, and it's all KU and K-State sports.
That's right, about as much as you'll be able to handle. Of course, we'll get to all those stories we just mentioned, but Lainey, we can't not start with the big wins on the football field yesterday. K-State and KU both 2-0.
Yeah, so how about those big wins? The first time KU has started the year with 2 wins since 2011. They had an exciting game in Morgantown against West Virginia. Jayhawks came into the game as 13-point underdogs, but scoring points was never an issue. Devin Neal lining up in the Wildcats struggles, but with the snap, but still untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. And later in the first half, he can catch it too. Jalen Daniels finds Neal up the middle for another touchdown.
Good pass.
Going into the fourth, Kansas had the lead, which is one of Coach Lance Leipold's big goals every game.
We wanted to get the game in the fourth quarter. We can get the game in the fourth quarter on the road. Then it's a 15-minute deal that we can try to pull it out. So I'm very proud of them.
Now this one didn't end in regulation. Overtime in this one. Rain coming down. Perfect time for Quentin Skinner to grab his first career touchdown. Hawks go up a score. West Virginia trying to get it back. Jacoby Bryant, the Hawk Mamba is what they're calling him, making the play on the ball. Returns it 90 yards for a pick six in OT to end the game.
You know, this program struggled to get wins. Obviously first conference game and a road win. Road wins are tough to begin with. Starting the conference season, a lot of different things. As we know, this is a group that's been bruised, mentally a lot, and they're starting to gain some confidence and believe in one another. You know, these Jayhawks seem to like overtime games.
Absolutely.
And of course, after the game, they're having a bit of fun in the locker room together. An exciting time for a high-energy group of Jayhawks.
High energy, yeah, might even be an understatement. Now we got to go to Manhattan yesterday with an 11 a.m. kickoff. I had to get up a little earlier than usual for that one, Lainey.
I'm sorry.
It was worth it, though. Not just early, but it was also a little rainy there. The Cats had to deal with that rain, lightning, even delays, but it didn't stop this offense. Opening drive, 1 yard line. Everyone knows the rules. You get the ball to number 22, Deuce Vaughn. We knew it. Mizzou knew it. The stadium knew it. How do you stop him? Good luck. Deuce is pumped as he should be. Give it to 22 again. He breaks free up the middle. Another score. Finishes with 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Deuce wasn't just running the ball. Lays down a block here. Adrian Martinez, the QB, in for 6. Check this out after the touchdown. Chris Kleiman fired up with his All-American running back. We asked Deuce Vaughn about that moment, and here's what he said.
He just told me how much he loved me, how he loves how hard I play, and I told him how much I loved him and how I'll do anything for him. That's a man that took a chance on me coming out of high school, someone that saw talent that a lot of other schools didn't. So to come in here and play for him every single day, do everything I can to be successful for him, for this coaching staff, for these guys in this locker room, I'm going to do that without hesitation.
It's hard not to love Deuce and hard not to love Coach Kleiman. It's not all offensive highlights for the Cats, though. Early in the second half, Mizzou backed up to its own end zone. Kobe Savage floats up in the air and snags an interception, and man, is he pumped up. Throwing up the mob sign with the defense. Next defensive possession, Daniel Green playing QB spy, and he gets the ball thrown right to him. Right place, right time, comes up with a turnover. The picks kept coming for the Cats. They get 4 on 4 straight Mizzou possessions.
Yikes.
A stellar defensive performance for the second straight week for the Cats.
It was raining just enough that, there was some issues throwing the football for both teams. I think the key was we didn't throw a pick, and they threw 4 of them. And so that was so critical for us to be able to limit the turnovers.
You throw no picks, the other team throws 4. Good strategy there. You may have been following online this week. K-State banned. They threatened to take away the Wabash Cannonball if that chant didn't stop. We didn't hear that chant from the Cats fans on Saturday, so the Wabash Cannonball was played all day and played often because they had lots of reasons to cheer.
Yeah, well, the team fed off that energy.
Absolutely.
So, well, obviously, there's 2 big football wins this weekend, but another K-State team also played Mizzou this week. We've got all sorts of highlights for you besides just Saturday's football action. Wildcat volleyball kicked off Tigers Hate Week, make that 2-0 against Missouri for the Cats this week. They spent Friday and Saturday at the Rambler Challenge in Chicago. In Chi-Town, K-State picked up a win against Rutgers, a loss to Loyola Chicago, and a win against St. Thomas, plus a little vacation outfit.
Yeah, they had a lot of games. KU volleyball, they've been on an absolute tear to start the year. In fact, an 8-game winning streak to start the year. The Jayhawks took care of business handily at home against Wichita State in 3 sets. They did suffer their first loss of the season against UNLV in their next game, snapping that impressive 9-game winning streak. Don't worry, though. Ray Bouchard told us that would be a tough matchup. They knew it would be, and the Jayhawks get back on the court against Lipscomb on Thursday.
Yeah, well, back to today, KU soccer is hosting Yale and having a salute to service before this game for 9/11. 14th minute, Kate Dreyer on a free kick. Her shot goes off the crossbar. Shira Elinov there to finish the job. Kansas leads 1-0.
That's what friends are for.
28th minute, Lexi Watts chases the ball down in the corner, centers it for Sage Wimes, and Wimes buries it, make it 2-0. Second half, Jayhawks keep rolling. Mari Schinkel to Elinov. She gets her second goal of the day here. And well, just like KU football last night, these Jayhawks are also going to score in the last possible moment. Time's winding down. Wimes gets her second goal with 1 second left in the match. KU wins it 4-1, and the Jayhawks improve to 6-2 on the year.
You got to tack on for good measure. Now, K-State soccer, they also played Yale this week. Not as much action in this one as we saw in that game in Lawrence. Andrew Moeller puts in a goal in the 37th minute. That's the only one the Cats would score in this one, but it's as many as they would need. K-State wins it at home, 1-0 the final score, and they move to 3-3-1 on the season.
All right, good soccer in the area, too.
And volleyball.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got some KU basketball to talk about, too. The Jayhawks are adding a new member to their coaching staff, but he's not new to Lawrence.
That's right. It's the return of Joe Dooley to KU basketball. He was Bill Self's top assistant from 2003 to 2013 before he went off for head coaching jobs at Florida Gulf Coast and then at East Carolina. Now, he'll be in a different role than last time. This time he'll be KU's recruiting coordinator. I talked with Dooley just a few days ago. He says this is what excites him most about that job.
I think just working with the guys again. I think it's, you're at a high level. You've got a team that, consistently has a chance to win the national title. I think you can be a sounding board. You can use resources that you have to help those other guys and just fit in whatever role we need.
And I also asked him about his relationship with Bill Self, specifically in those years when he wasn't at KU. He says Coach Self always treated him like a friend, never just another coach, and it made it a no-brainer to come back and join the Jayhawks when the opportunity presented itself.
That's why people want to work for Coach, is because he cares about your family. He knows everybody, whatever he's doing, all the children, has a genuine care and a genuine interest. We talked about how the families were doing, checking on how his kids are doing. He was checking how my son was doing. So I think those things we probably talk more than basketball.
Dooley will join Self along with 2 assistant coaches who he already worked with previously, Norm Roberts and Curtis Townsend. He says he's settling back in and getting used to Lawrence being home again.
It's an easy place to settle into.
I guess so.
Yeah, well, stick with us. The best is yet to come in this episode of K-Nation. As we mentioned before, our goal is to highlight as many K-State and KU teams as possible. Up next, we'll introduce you to the Wildcats cross-country team and its coach who made multiple stops before getting back with the Cats.
Plus, we've got a great panel this week. Ryan Gilbert and Cole Carmody from 24/7 Sports Go PowerCat. They join us in studio to talk all things Wildcat football. Stick with us.
Inflation, it's everywhere. But with the buy one famous star, get another one for $1 deal at Hardee's,
there's finally some relief.
Bite into the famous star today, only at Hardee's. Are you a super fan? K-State Superstore has the largest assortment of licensed K-State apparel and souvenirs waiting for you. And with our Superfan Rewards program, you'll enjoy even more. Fans can experience K-State Superstore at the stadium, online 24/7 at kstatesuperstore.com, and our new flagship location at 520 McCall Road. K-State Superstore, official retail partner of K-State Athletics.
Hi, I'm George Coe. This is Mark Prowitz. Building a home is one of the largest undertakings you'll ever make. For us, it's not about square footage or living without something you really want. It's about building your dream home on your budget. For any questions, visit ProwitzConstruction.com today.
Discover Manhattan's Midwest Dream Car Collection. With over 60 exhibits, this collection has something for everyone. Bring the family or rent the meeting space for your next retreat. Open Thursday through Sunday. Midwest Dream Car Collection in Manhattan. Big dreams, fast cars.
Hey, call insurance agent.
Insurance agent not found in contact.
Call insurance company.
Insurance company is currently closed. Please call back during business hours. For directions, press 1. For billing, press 2. If you would like to speak with an agent, you have misdialed.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
Don't worry, we're going to get this taken care of.
Thanks, man.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Has your bathroom seen better days? Are mold and mildew a problem?
Call the Wizard.
Bath Wizard. Convert your old tub into a beautiful walk-in shower. Add grab bars and shelves, even a seat so you can relax. Right now, save $1,000 on your new bathroom. Plus no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months, and you'll get a double lifetime warranty. Schedule your free in-home consultation today. Bath Wizard.
Next to Market Watch, numbers. Boring. In more delicious news, there's a buy one famous star, get one for $1 deal at Hardee's.
Bite into the famous star today, only at Hardee's.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Lainey, I ran cross country and track in high school. I wasn't quite fast enough to run at K-State. In fact, I wasn't even close. But we got to talk more about K-State cross country now.
That's right. We're not talking about you. We're talking about K-State cross country, and our own Landon Reinhardt tells us about the team and the coach who's leading the way.
After successful finishes last year for both the K-State men's and women's cross country teams, they're excited for the possibilities for this year under a new head coach.
We could be really dangerous.
With a 6th place finish in regionals, the team's highest in a decade, this women's team is ready for race time.
When we do that again this year, it'll be a lot to us, especially some of us upperclassmen who have been in the program and trying to build a foundation for those who are going to be here in the coming years.
The men have big goals this year too.
Well, we've got them written up on the whiteboard. We all want to be within 15 places of each other at Big 12s, which can seem a little hard since there's 100 kids in the race, but I think everybody's just shooting to be around 20 seconds of each other.
And to help the team achieve those goals is Coach Randy Cole, who joined the team in June, but isn't exactly new to the program. Cole started at K-State in the early 80s under Steve Miller, the athletic director responsible for hiring Bill Snyder. After a few stints away, he became head coach in 1997 until 2004. Cole went to Wyoming and Lindenwood before returning to Manhattan this summer.
He's awesome. Again, we're kind of all getting used to his style of coaching, and he brings so much energy and joy every single day to practice. Every time we walk in, we practice at 5:30 in the morning, and we walk in and he has a smile on his face, ready to be with us. He tells us it's the highlight of his day.
The favorite part of the day is seeing the team, even if it's just a distance run. I enjoy the interaction with the team members and everything. I think we can have another good season, a very exciting league, obviously the Big 12. I think we can move up a tad.
And we'll let you know how those goals turn out here on K-Nation. For now, in Manhattan, Landon Reinhardt, K-Nation.
Good work from Landon there. I'll have to see if maybe they have a walk-on spot available for
there,
me.
Go ahead.
Well, don't go anywhere. More K-Nation comes your way after a quick break.
Yeah, KU baseball is hot on the recruiting trail, all thanks to a brand new coaching staff. I sat down for an exclusive interview with Dan Fitzgerald that you'll only see here on K-Nation. That's up next.
What makes best reviews the best reviews?
Ooh, pretty colors.
They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations.
Oh no, Count Bristol. We settle this dispute through dance.
To give honest, reliable recommendations on just about any product you can imagine. So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you.
Faster, Count Bristol, faster!
Whatever you're into. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Meaningful relationships built upon trust is a founding principle of the Trust Company. We help individuals and businesses create tailored financial plans and diversified investment strategies that adapt over time to your unique needs. Because we are independent, we can offer flexibility and creativity that many advisors and trust departments can't. If you aren't sure where to start or you're looking to make a fresh start, contact us today for a free consultation.
No matter where you call home, you deserve reliable coverage. At T-Mobile, we cover your town and 99% of people in America. And now, for a limited time with T-Mobile's hometown discount, families and small businesses who switch at a local store get 20% off. That's 20% off unlimited talk, text, and data for the life of your plan. Plus, with our T-Mobile Price Lock, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan. Get T-Mobile's hometown discount today.
Okay, are we gonna fit? There we go.
At American Family Insurance, we're here to carefully protect your dreams.
All right, open your eyes. Welcome home.
All right, we'll see you later. Save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto insurance today. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
American Family Insurance.
Welcome back to K-Nation. As we're getting to know teams like K-State Cross Country, we're also getting to know coaches, including KU's new baseball head coach, and he helped put together the Jayhawks' biggest transfer class.
Yeah, 18 transfers. I caught up with Coach Fist during the week to talk about some of the new guys and what goes into putting together such a large transfer class. You've recruited guys from all over the country, so just how do you manage such a wide reach?
Yeah, well, I think the credit really goes to my staff, and headed up by John Coyne, our recruiting coordinator, Brandon Scott, our pitching coach, and Tyler Hancock, our hitting coach. All three were recruiting coordinators at their previous stops. So 3 guys with big-time experience and knowledge and a database of players and contacts, and really it just, for a long time there, this is all we did. You know, players weren't back on campus yet, our families hadn't moved to Lawrence yet, so there's really nothing else to do except put a team together. And so we were kind of 24/7 on this, and it really paid off with a great group of guys.
Yeah, and how has your role in recruiting changed from being a recruiting coordinator to a head coach?
It's different. It's definitely different. Like I've said 1,000 times, I was so intentional with the guys I hired, knowing that I'm coming out of that school, but also need to hand that off. And they're guys I really trust, and they're so talented that I think the candid answer is they're way better at it than I am, so it was an easy one to pass on, and my job becomes more of, you know, the specifics with the player, the one-on-one interaction, and then kind of the 30,000-foot view of where we're headed as a program, and in all
facets, but certainly recruiting.
So Sam Hunt is one of the guys that you got, and he's played at Hoagland before, had a weird experience. Did you guys talk about that when he was trying to transfer here?
Not during the recruiting process, but we've certainly talked about it since. But yeah, Sam, a great pickup for us really late, and Sam was someone I was very familiar with, being that out of the Dallas Metroplex where I'd spent 9 years, and someone that I knew from the recruiting world then, and know his high school coach extremely well, and so we were thrilled when we saw he was on the market, and a great pickup for us late.
Yeah, and Luke Leto and Collier Cranford followed you here from LSU. Did they follow you here, or was it just the right fit at the right time?
Probably a combination of both. I think you'd have to ask them if they followed me. I certainly have a great relationship with both, and loved every second of coaching them last year, and worked really closely with each of them last year. And then, when they went into the portal, we jumped on them right away. But, I think it was a combination of they were available, the relationship that I had with them, and then our specific need, specific to each one of them. But again, 2 outstanding human beings, 2 leaders, 2 great makeup guys, and ultimately 2 really good baseball players.
Nice. And you got a few guys from Cowley County Community College. Did their JUCO World Series run put them on the map for you?
They've been on the map for so long, Lainey. I think, Lefty Burrows, their head coach now, has been there forever, but his brother, Dave Burrows, a great friend of mine, and two legendary brothers that have coached at such a high level. So everyone's known of Cowley County forever. Their World Series run was, it seems like they make one all the time, but they were, again, players that we knew about. Reeder was a guy that I had watched at my previous stops, and Ty Lickey, a guy that we certainly knew about as well. So again, just another great example of Kansas junior college baseball. I mean, that's one program in many that's loaded with players.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks, Lainey.
And Coach Fitzgerald also said recruiting was so easy because he did hire those great coaches, but also he was careful to give his recruiting coordinator plenty of freedom because that's how he liked it himself when he was at LSU.
Yeah, it's always good. He's got the experience. He knows what it's like to be a recruiting coordinator. He made sure to relay that to his guys to make sure he gave them their space, not micromanage anything or anything like that.
And he put together the #1 transfer class at LSU, so I think he knows what he's doing.
It seems like you could assume that, yeah. Hey, coming up on after the break on K-Nation, we're talking Wildcat football with the good folks from Go Power Cat. They're here now. Cole Carmody and Ryan Gilbert join us in studio to break down that big win over Mizzou and talk predictions for the Wildcat football season. Don't go anywhere.
2 Sonic Chop House cheeseburgers coming up.
Adding the crispy onions.
Spreading the Chop House aioli.
Sonic Chop House cheeseburger, ready for pickup.
What happens here matters here. That's why the 27 News Capital Bureau brings the important stories home to you like no one else can.
Let's go live to the State House.
Here's Capitol Bureau reporter Denisha Richard.
It's been a long road, but the governor has finally signed the bill into law today.
Because decisions made here impact you, your family, and your home. We have your Capital News covered.
Right now, there's a big political divide on this issue.
The 27 News Capital Bureau, working for you.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
The all-new 2 for $5 menu at Sonic. Choose a Fritos chili cheese wrap, small jumbo popcorn chicken, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. Just $5. The 2 for $5 menu, only at Sonic or in the app.
Welcome back to K-Nation. We're going to take some time now just to chat it up about all things Wildcat football. And Lainey and I have the perfect guest for just that.
Yeah, so welcome in, guys. This is Cole Carmody and Ryan Gilbert from Go Power Cat with 24/7 Sports. So thank you guys for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, hey, let's start with takeaways from that win yesterday. Obviously a big win. You beat an SEC team in that fashion. They were 7.5-point favorites, and they nearly quadrupled that spread. What stood out to you guys from yesterday's game?
As far as I'm concerned, honestly, I was not that surprised. I felt like K-State had a really good chance coming into the game to not only cover the spread, but really, honestly, steamroll them. And I really thought that Deuce Vaughn and the rushing attack was the main thing that stood out for me. And I'm sure you can agree with me, Ryan. Yeah. Anytime you can get number 22 going, it's going to be good.
You don't want to disagree and say Deuce Vaughn's not good? Or
I'd say my biggest takeaway was Missouri's not that good. I mean, that's an SEC school, but they're bottom of the barrel. In that conference, you know, this team, Chris Kleiman, they really haven't shown a lot of their playbook yet. They had a good win over South Dakota in their first game, and now over Mizzou. And then next week we'll see if we even see a whole lot being shown on film for other teams. I mean, they've just been cruising to victories.
Yeah, and you got to talk about the defense, right? Back-to-back weeks that they almost really didn't allow a touchdown. If Mizzou doesn't call a timeout in a 30-point game with 5 seconds left, then K-State goes 2 weeks without allowing a touchdown.
Yeah,
so that
crowd
defense,
didn't like that
man,
last play.
I don't think they did. I don't think the players did either, but they bit their tongues a little bit post-game.
I was honestly shocked that Eli Drinkwitz did that at the end of the game. I probably shouldn't be shocked because it's Eli Drinkwitz. I mean, we've seen stuff like this from him before, but the defense played outstanding. Kobe Savage in the secondary is somebody who I've been impressed with, and I think who fans should really keep an eye on. I think he could be an all-conference safety. He had an interception. Obviously, anytime you get 4 picks in a game,
that's pretty good.
You're going to have a really good chance to win, and I think this defense is legit. After watching the rest of the Big 12, I think this defense can be one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the Big 12.
I won't argue with that.
Yeah, well, Ryan, I'm glad you brought up Mizzou being bottom of the barrel for the SEC because someone had to say it, and I didn't want to be the one to say it, so I'm glad you did. But all the talk this offseason has been about Colin Klein and the offense, how that's going to look. But this defense almost looks like an entirely new defense between last season and this season. And over the summer, the defensive coaches were always talking about how much tougher they want their guys to be this year. Is there anything else you guys have noticed just kind of translate from the summer to this season?
Well, I think the biggest question mark with the defense was probably that secondary, the safety group for Kansas State, and they've kept everything in front of them contained, right? There haven't really been any big plays to my knowledge. So that's probably been the biggest surprise on defense is that secondary. They've really held their own in 2 games.
I think the depth at the defensive line position, too, is maybe a question mark. Obviously, everybody knows about Eli Huggins, Felix Uzama, and Nate Matlack, but who is going to be that other guy that kind of steps up? I thought Brendan Mott and D. Hentz played great games on Saturday at the nose tackle position and the defensive end position. But again, I think that this defense has a chance to be really good, and especially if they can continue to not give up touchdowns like you mentioned, Glenn. I mean, anytime you don't give up touchdowns, you're going to have a chance to win.
Yeah, it seems like K-State fans are having to learn a lot of new names because they do have so much depth. It's not just, you can't just know 2 or 3 guys, So now I want to ask about the passing game, though. You mentioned they haven't shown off too much of the playbook. Week 1, they really didn't ask Martinez to do much. Week 2, the weather probably. Should we be worried about that passing game? I asked Wyatt Thompson the same thing last week, and week 2, I'm like, now can I worry or not yet?
I'm not worried.
Yeah, not yet, you mentioned.
Yeah,
okay. Not yet.
I'm not worried. I'm fully bought in on Adrian Martinez, especially after what happened with Nebraska. That's something that I know a lot of people compare. Oh, look what he did at Nebraska. Look what he's doing at K-State. I think it's obvious that was not his fault at Nebraska, and so I think the passing attack will open up. Yeah, I look for coming up on Saturday against Tulane. I think it's a perfect opportunity to really
open it up a little bit.
To show what you have, throw it all out there and see what happens.
I think they have to, because you can't go into Oklahoma and still not have seen much from Martinez and say, well, now we'll open up the playbook. You gotta see what he's got before you get to that Oklahoma game.
And the weather, I think, played a major part in the game plan on Saturday. When it's a torrential downpour, and Glenn's down there on the field getting soaked, it's hard to do much throwing the ball. So I think if Adrian Martinez can open it up on Saturday, and hopefully we have nice weather, it should really help the offense.
We'll root for a sunny day.
Unless they want to keep the playbook contained, not show too much before OU. I don't know. Well, really quick predictions. How many wins do you guys think K-State gets this year?
He's been more optimistic than me throughout the offseason. I'll go 8 wins. It's probably K-State's ceiling this year.
I said this before. I'm going to say it again. I think this team is 10-2, and I might even change my prediction. I'm really high on this team. I think the defense is legit. I think the offense will start to get rolling, but I picked them to be in the Big 12 championship game, and I'm gonna stick with that.
We'll let you guys do the predictions, and we're gonna set it to break here. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining us, and
Thanks
don't go anywhere, folks. More K-Nation coming up right after this break.
This Labor Day at Ashley, everything is on sale. Up to 30% off hot buys. Plus $150 off every $1,000 you spend. Or pay 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. Visit your local Ashley store of Manhattan or shop ashley.com today.
The stories you need to know.
They just ripped the ATM out of the wall.
Up in a Black Hawk helicopter.
Were you trying to rip me off?
Inside Edition.
These are the stories that impact your life.
Weekdays at 2 on 27 KSNT. 27 News anchor David George.
Kansas is my home. I enjoy the area, the small towns, the people, and working for you as a part of the 27 News team.
David George, weeknights on 27 News.
Custom Skin Med Spa at his and her salon and day spa has all the aesthetic services you are looking for, including Cryo 4.0 therapy to help with permanent fat loss and skin tightening. Call today to find out how these treatments will change your life.
This Labor Day at Ashley, everything is on sale. Up to 30% off hot buys. Plus $150 off every $1,000 you spend. Or pay 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. Visit your local Ashley store of Manhattan or shop ashley.com today.
Sports betting now legal in Kansas. K-State covered and then some against Mizzou with a 28-point win at home. KU flipped the script at West Virginia. They were a 13-point underdog. They won, so they covered and they win money line, and that's 2 weeks in a row that K-State and KU both covered.
Yeah. All right, well, Vegas has K-State as 16.5-point favorites at home against Tulane on Saturday, while the odds makers have Kansas as 10-point underdogs on the road in Houston.
They keep sleeping on the Jayhawks. Come on, I mean,
Yeah.
they get that big win at West Virginia, but Houston's probably a little bit better.
Houston was just ranked, so
Yeah.
and they are in Houston. 10 points. I mean, it's not the biggest spread. So
Yeah, as for the K-State game, 16.5. When you get a game with that big of a spread, I usually stay away from it. It kind of scares me. You never know when you have like a garbage time touchdown or something like that that ruins that. I think they can certainly win by more than that, but I'm not going to make any promises. I don't know. You know, we'll see.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how to take it either. Like we were talking about with our friends, we haven't seen much of the playbook, so it's just hard to bet on the Wildcats, I think, in games that could be so up in the air.
If the defense keeps holding the teams to 0, 3, 7, 10 points, they're probably going to go ahead and keep covering.
Definitely. Well, hopefully we have a lot of great games to talk about next week on K-Nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks for watching tonight. Make plans to join us again next Sunday and every Sunday from now on after our 10 p.m. newscast.
Yeah, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.